What is going on, guys? My name is Dylan and welcome back to another Destiny video. Today I'm going to be going over one of my favourite Warlock builds of what I like to call the Watch the World Burn build. Now, this build focuses on tanking a lot of damage and also killing a lot of trash enemies. So this build works best against small enemies like dregs, vandals, thrall, those sorts of things, but it can also do very well against bosses. I've used this thing plenty of times in raids to give buffs to my teammates in damage, so it does work a treat in raid encounters also. Anyway, enough talking, let's get into what you're going to need for this build. Right, so first of all, you're going to want to be on a Warlock, and you're going to want to use the Sunsinger skill tree, and let's get into what you're going to need. So starting from the grenade, we're going to be using Solar Grenade, Focused Burst, Radiant Skin, Flame Shield, Arcane Spirit, Viking Funeral, Divine Order, and Touch of Flame. Now let's get into the exotic armor piece that makes this build possible. So the exotic armor piece that makes this all possible are the Sunbreakers. They are a pair of gauntlets for the Warlock. Now the exotic perk on these gauntlets is called Helium Cycle. It increases the duration of your solar grenade while also gaining an additional solar grenade charge. Now this is very useful as with one of the recent patches quite a while back, I think it was a few months ago now, they actually changed the way Viking Funeral works. So basically it used to just extend the duration of damage and burn time on enemies. So now they've changed it to actually where damage stacks up to 3 times. Now this works very well for a good team DPS build and also melting a lot of enemies very fast. So this is the good old Viking Funeral Touch of Flame build that a lot of walks are still familiar with, but just using solar flare grenades. Now for intellect and discipline, you're going to want to tier 5 intellect and discipline for this build, and then just as much strength as you can get. I am using a tier 11. Anyway, let's get into the gameplay. So let's start off with the grenade. So the actual area of effect, the AoE of the grenade is actually very big. It's actually quite surprisingly big for just one grenade. So actually being able to carry 2 of these grenades at any one time with these Sunbreakers works an absolute treat. Also, obviously they last longer as well, so enemies are going to burn for much longer and they're going to take a lot more damage. So you can sort of like throw one down at a group of enemies and then you just sort of forget about them and they'll end up burning out and dying anyway. So that's one of the main strengths of the build. Obviously then going into the super is really good. Now I like to play quite aggressive when I use Sunsinger, so I actually pair this with a hand cannon and a shotgun, as that's what I feel works best for me in my opinion. So actually running in, mailing an enemy for the flame shield, getting that extra damage resistance works an absolute treat, and then just constantly throwing your grenades everywhere, running through your own grenade paths and blocking off doorways. As you can see right on screen right now, I'm spawn trapping the enemies as soon as they come out the doorway. This is definitely one of the main strengths of the build, is just blocking doorways and hallways off. Now I haven't actually tried this build out in PvP yet, but I can imagine it'd be pretty good for something like Trials of Osiris, where you've got to sort of defend points and hallways and sort of block people off. But again, this is another clip of me just absolutely just literally watching the world burn, as I like to call the build, just throwing them all over the place. And the enemies, as you can see, are just literally dropping out of the spaceship and just dying straight away. That's how effective this build can be if used correctly. And it also works against high level enemies also, so don't be afraid to use this against something like a boss. I use this build a lot against bosses, and there's a clip coming up in just a few seconds of me actually using it against a boss in this mission. I actually use this build within the raid also. I actually use it on Axis Phase 2. Basically what I'll do is I'll throw a couple of these grenades at Axis for the bonus damage, and then I'll run up to him with my Dark Drinker sword, and I'll spin around, deal a lot of damage with the sword. When they're about to run out again, I'll throw a few more, deal more damage. As you can see, the grenades in general made quick work of this boss. And that's just in a daily heroic story, of my level. So anyway guys, I hope you really did enjoy this video. Let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to see more videos like this. Do you want to see some Hunter builds, maybe some Titan builds? Just let me know down in the comments below, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. My name is Dylan. Thanks for watching, and peace.